see there's several parks, and there's park improvements, and then there's some new parks. Could you tell us first about the countywide park improvements, and then any new parks?
Well, we had Dwayne come in, who's the director of our Parks and Recs, and what Dwayne shared with us as a committee, that every single park, for the most part, in our county needs some updating. Specifically bathrooms, water fountains, common areas, green space in some of them are going to be some improvement. So every single park that he had in the entire county probably could use some updates in those areas. And so he's asking for funding to be able to do some of that, at least get some of those projects done. And that's why we allocated some funds to be able to get those things done. I know I don't want to go to a park and it's not well lit or the bathroom is not okay. So I think that's important for the people that use our parks, the citizens that use the parks on a regular, that they have updated facilities and places that they feel safe in going and walking their dogs and enjoying and sitting under a pavilion having a lunch or whatever. So that's what those dollars are going to be allocated for, to do some improvements there. Now, there's been some talk about a West Side Community Center Park. I know we talked a little bit about that. On that west side, we want to create a park, but it not only will be a park, part of it we talked about was the possibility of also adding that senior service expansion along with that area. So when we buy land for the park, we want to buy land as well for that senior service expansion. So it's going to be a combination of things on that particular site once that's happening. But the dollars will be allocated for that, to buy land. The dollars will be allocated to start the initial concepts and designs of those projects. And that's what we're hoping to show on that west side at some point.
You mentioned the Senior Enrichment Center, and it's also a SPLOST project. Tell me more about that.
Well, the whole goal, we were landlocked on this senior expansion, the previous one. The previous SPLOST allowed for some funding to expand the current senior center, and now there's no more land. There's no more space to add on there. So we will have to find a second location to be able to expand that. And that second location we've talked about is on that west side somewhere, mainly because that's where most of the people are moving to. That area is growing so fast. There's a need for services in that area. And so the dollars have been allocated to hopefully do phase 2 somewhere on that west side.
Okay. So I see on the 23 SPLOST list is Newton Trails, $1 million. What I guess the Newton Trails come to you guys, present, and what are they planning on doing with the additional funding?
Yeah, we had the director of Newton Trails to come in, and they shared the whole goal is to connect every one of these trails. So you can start on one, you can end up miles and miles away on the same one, all within the same track. $1 million has been allocated to start that process. The million won't cover all of it, but it's to start the connection process of connecting various trails so people can stay within certain areas of the trail. They can go in, within the circle of there and circle around in it without leaving one and having to go across this street to get to the next one. So the whole goal is to connect them all. And they're going to extend from one end of the county to the other end of the county. So hopefully over the next several years, they'll get them all connected and people can enjoy them on whether it's on the east side, west, north, or south. They'll be connected so we can all enjoy them.
Okay. All right, we're just going to pause. Did Washington Street come present?
Yes, they did.
Okay, all right. So I also see that Washington Street Community Center, if approved, it would be allocated $1 million. What is that funding for?
Well, initially, Washington Street wanted to expand as well. They wanted to build on to their current building so that they could accommodate about 30 more students every single day. $1 million won't do that, but $1 million will help in the process of getting that started so that in the future they can do that addition that they want to do so they can accommodate kids. I think they serve somewhere around 30, 40, 50 kids every single day, and they wanted to expand that after-school program. Ms. B came in, she shared her information with us about what they wanted to accomplish. I think initially they were asking for something like $5 million to be able to do that project. But we were able to at least secure $1 million for them to get them going in the initial. But it's all for an expansion that they want to do so that they can accommodate more kids. They can't accommodate the 30 that they initially wanted to do, but maybe they can accommodate 10 or 15 of those new kids.
Okay.
For more information about this year's SPLOST, visit the website www.newtonsplost.com.